Hey, and welcome to this episode of Matched Betting Uncovered, brought to you by ProfitDuel. Today, we're diving deep into a question we hear, well, all the time, really, from people curious about this powerful strategy. How long does it really take to learn matched betting and actually start making a consistent profit? It's a really common question, pretty intriguing, and yeah, we're here to give you the clearest picture we can based on, our experience.
That's right. And for anyone new to the whole idea, matched betting isn't really gambling. Not in the usual sense, anyway. It's more of a technique, a strategy that uses all those bonus bets and promos the online sports books offer. Think of it like a methodical way to ensure you win, a win-win outcome, basically. You're turning their offers into predictable profit. It's often described as beating the sports books at their own game, using their marketing, but for your benefit.
Exactly. So in this deep dive, we're going to walk you through that whole journey. We'll unpack the initial learning curve, break down the core ideas that make it work. We'll talk about the execution phase, actually doing it, highlight some common challenges you might hit, and of course, the potential rewards. What's the payoff? Our goal here is to give you a really transparent understanding of the time involved, so you know what to expect if you decide to, jump in. Okay, let's unpack this journey then, like learning anything new that's worthwhile, right? Matched betting definitely has a learning curve. You're not just passively reading stuff. You're actively building a new skill, a financial one. So the question is, how steep is that curve?
It's a great question, and honestly, the time needed, it really does vary from person to person. If you're someone who already kind of gets betting concepts, maybe you've looked at odds before, placed a normal sports bet, you'll probably grasp the matched betting mechanics quicker. But if you're completely new to it all, terms like odds, bookmakers, even betting exchanges, well, you'll need a bit more time up front just to understand the terminology, the landscape. But okay, for a specific time frame, based on what we see, someone with let's say, a reasonable grasp of numbers and a willingness to learn, you're probably looking at around 5 to 10 hours just to absorb those initial basics. That's for understanding the core principles, getting that foundation built.
Right, 5 to 10 hours. And when we say basics, what does that really cover? We're talking about understanding things like back bets and hedge bets, right? That interaction between them and getting a handle on different odds formats maybe. And crucially, the idea of a betting exchange, which, as you said, maybe isn't essential for the very first profit, but understanding it definitely helps you see the bigger picture, why it all works. It's less about memorizing terms and more about seeing how those pieces fit together to shield you from risk. Okay, here's where it gets really interesting, I think, when we get into those core concepts. Because the whole strategy, it isn't just about having two types of bets, it's how they interact, how they cancel each other out risk-wise.
Precisely. Yeah, you've got your back bet. That's the normal bet everyone knows. Betting for something to happen, team A to win, for instance. But the real strategic magic of matched betting, that's the hedge bet. This is where you bet against the same outcome. You're essentially acting like the bookmaker yourself for that bet, covering all the bases. So learning how to hedge properly, that's the key element. It's not just placing another bet. It's understanding how to use that hedge bet to completely neutralize the risk, guaranteeing you make money no matter what happens in the event. It takes it from, chance into something predictable, like arbitrage.
And this is where technology now just makes things so much easier. What might have seemed complicated, lots of calculations by hand in the past, now with the right tools, it literally takes seconds. Take ProfitDuel's Dutch Matcher, for example. A tool like that, it's not just a fancy calculator. It's smart. It scans tons of sports books, finds those perfect odds matches that guarantee profit, does the heavy lifting, and then it just lays out the steps for you, exactly where to bet, how much. You just follow the instructions. You're not buried in spreadsheets. You're just clicking buttons, basically, to lock in profit. It makes that hedging part almost automatic.
Yeah, and it's probably worth just a quick mention here. While we're focusing today on matched betting for sports events, which is where these core ideas apply directly, online casino matched betting, that's a slightly different beast. It uses the same principle, leveraging casino bonuses for profit, but the actual execution, the strategies, they're a bit different. Often something people move on to once they've really mastered the sports side. That's sort of next level.
Okay, so once you've got those basics down, you've had that aha moment about hedging, then you move into, well, execution. What does that actually involve? Beyond just knowing the theory, this is where rubber meets the road, right?
Obviously, this is where you start doing it. The execution phase means actively finding good matched betting opportunities. So, spotting those valuable bonus offers and promotions, and then using those online tools we mentioned, like the Dutch Matcher, to find the profitable matches and, crucially, calculate the exact amounts to bet. Having a decent understanding of odds definitely helps at this stage, lets you make quicker, more confident decisions. Based on what we generally see, dedicating about, say, 10 to 15 hours specifically to practicing this execution part. That seems like a reasonable estimate. This isn't just reading more guides. This is actually placing bets, getting familiar with the websites, the process. Totally. And during that practice time, using small bets is really, really recommended. Think of it like practice runs, low stakes. It lets you get comfortable with the whole workflow, finding the offer, placing the back bet, placing the hedge bet correctly, making sure you're doing it accurately before you start using bigger amounts. It's about building confidence and competence safely.
Which brings up an important point, really.
Yeah.
Something we always highlight. Matched betting. Because it relies on precision, it does have its challenges. It's not just a magic button you press, expecting that can lead to some frustration. One of the main hurdles is just maintaining discipline and accuracy consistently. Mistakes, well, they can be costly. A single error, like typing the wrong stake amount or misreading the odds, that can completely throw off the balance. Turn that guaranteed profit into, well, an accidental gamble or even a loss. So you really need meticulous attention to detail.
Yeah.
Focus. Yeah, definitely. And another challenge, just from a practical standpoint, is keeping up to date. The world of sportsbook promotions and bonus bets, it's always changing. New offers appear, old ones vanish, terms and conditions might shift. So it requires a bit of ongoing effort from you, some research, just to make sure you're always using the best, most current opportunities. It's dynamic.
Right. And to manage that effectively, we usually suggest setting aside maybe an hour or two each week. Just dedicated time to check for new offers, track existing ones, make sure you're up to speed. It's part of that ongoing commitment, really. It separates people who just dabble from those who get consistent profits month after month.
So, okay, the big question then, what's this all mean for you, the listener, in terms of the payoff? After putting in that time, navigating the learning curve, practicing the execution, what kind of rewards can you actually expect?
Well, what we consistently see is that after investing, say, a solid 20 to 30 hours in total, that's combining the learning and the practice, most people should feel pretty confident executing a good range of matched betting strategies. And at that point, yeah, you're typically well placed to start generating consistent, regular profits. Now, the actual amount you can make, that does vary. It depends on a few things. Your starting capital, for one, how much money you have to place the bets initially. More capital means you can do more offers at once. Also, just the number and value of the promotions available from the sportsbooks at any given time. That fluctuates. And of course, the size of the bets you're comfortable placing. Plus, it's worth noting, many sportsbooks have VIP programs. If you're consistent, you can get access to even better offers, higher potential profits.
And this is where it gets really exciting because we see it all the time, people reporting consistent, ongoing monthly profits. Real money. The exact figures, like you said, depend on dedication, time commitment. I mean, ProfitDuel itself mentions helping over 500,000 members earn guaranteed monthly profits, often reaching into the thousands. That's a serious potential side income for a lot of people.
Absolutely. Our findings really confirm it. Matched betting can definitely be treated as a proper, effective side hustle, a way to strategically boost your income without relying on luck or chance. It's flexible, too, once you've got that initial learning done.
So just to wrap up our journey today, learning matched betting, yes, it's a process. It needs a bit of time, some patience, a willingness to learn. But that initial curve, maybe 20 to 30 hours all in, that feels like a manageable commitment to unlock something pretty powerful, a consistent way to make extra income.
And that initial time investment, it really can pay off significantly. The potential for steady, low-risk profit makes it a very attractive option for anyone looking to boost their income reliably. If you bring the discipline, the attention to detail, and keep up with the research, it genuinely becomes a rewarding financial skill, one that keeps paying dividends.
So if that idea of, methodically outsmarting the sports books, generating predictable income from their own offers, if that intrigues you, maybe consider this. If you can turn something often seen as pure chance into guaranteed profit through strategy, what other areas of your financial life could benefit from that same kind of deep dive, that strategic thinking, something to mull over? That's it for this episode. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.